Have you ever noticed how rejection can actually hurt? Not emotionally, physically, a breakup, being ignored, losing a friendship, getting excluded, or hearing someone say no. Sometimes it creates a heavy feeling in your chest, a knot in your stomach, or an ache that feels surprisingly real. People even use physical words to describe emotional pain: heartbroken, crushed, hurt, and it turns out those expressions may be more literal than we once believed. Because according to neuroscience, rejection really can activate some of the same brain regions involved in physical pain. In other words, your brain may process emotional rejection in a way that's surprisingly similar to physical injury. To understand why, we need to go back thousands of years. Humans evolved as deeply social creatures. For most of human history, survival depended on belonging to a group. Being accepted meant protection, food, cooperation, and safety. But being rejected or excluded from the group could be dangerous, sometimes even deadly. As a result, the human brain evolved to treat social rejection as a serious threat. Researchers have discovered that when people experience rejection, certain areas of the brain associated with physical pain become active. One of the most important is called the anterior cingulate cortex. This region helps process the emotional distress connected to pain. Interestingly, studies using brain scans found that social rejection and physical pain can activate overlapping neural systems. That's why emotional pain can feel so intense and so real. Your brain isn't simply imagining the pain, it's reacting to rejection as a genuine threat. One famous study demonstrated this in a fascinating way. Participants played an online game where they believed other people were including them in a social activity. Then suddenly they were excluded. Even though the rejection happened in a simple virtual game, brain scans showed activation in pain-related brain regions. A small moment of exclusion triggered a very real neurological response. And social rejection doesn't just affect emotions. It can influence sleep, stress levels, appetite, mood, concentration, and even physical health over time. Humans are biologically wired for connection, which means losing connection can deeply affect the brain and body. But here's something even more interesting. The intensity of rejection often depends on uncertainty. Not knowing why someone rejected you can make the pain feel even worse. The brain naturally searches for explanations. Did I do something wrong? Was it my fault? Could I have changed the outcome? This constant mental replay keeps emotional pain active long after the event itself. In many ways, the brain treats unresolved rejection like an unfinished problem. And that's one reason heartbreak and rejection can stay with people for so long. But despite how painful rejection feels, psychologists believe it also serves an important purpose. Pain exists to capture attention. Physical pain protects the body from danger, and social pain may help protect human relationships. The discomfort encourages people to repair social bonds, seek support, and maintain connection with others. In other words, emotional pain may be part of the brain's survival system, not a flaw, but an ancient mechanism designed to keep humans socially connected. And perhaps that's why rejection can feel so overwhelming, because deep down the human brain still treats belonging as something essential. So the next time rejection feels physically painful, remember, your brain isn't overreacting. It's responding the way human brains evolved to respond for thousands of years. Because to the brain, social connection has never been just emotional. It's always been survival. And sometimes the wounds we cannot see are the ones the brain takes most seriously.